It's the Moss Minute.
Welcome to this edition of the Moss HR Minute. I'm Nicole Moss. I'm the co-founder of Moss Consulting HR Services, and we are here to help business owners solve the people and operational challenges that they face every day. On this show, we sit down with leaders, experts, and entrepreneurs to uncover the real issues business owners are facing and how to tackle them with modern solutions. I'm so excited that we're joined today by Marc Martin. He's with Paylocity. He's a leader in payroll and workplace technology, helping companies modernize the way that they pay, manage, and engage with their teams. So here's how this show works. I am going to ask Marc 5 hard-hitting business questions that owners are struggling with right now, and he's going to give his answer in 1 Moss Minute. That's just 60 seconds, and then we're going to go deeper on those topics together. Are you ready, Marc?
I am.
Let's jump in. Our question number 1 is, this is about the competitiveness in the space that you're in. So business owners have more payroll options than ever right now. What sets Paylocity apart today? And why would a growing business choose Paylocity over other platforms? And give us your answer in 1 Moss Minute.
Well, thank you for having me. I think it is a very hyper-competitive market right now, probably more than it's ever been. And to be fair, with the advent of AI in consumers' hands, they have more information now than they've ever had before. They can be brought together to do quick analysis of things. Now, sometimes that can be accurate and sometimes it can be inaccurate, which is why it's important to talk with a salesperson or someone at Paylocity on the ground level to talk to business owners, because every business is different. So what makes us stand apart is that we're not a fly-by-night company.
Yeah.
We're not going to be acquired suddenly overnight, like some of our competitors have been. But we do code our technology in-house. So we have ultimate quality control over that. On top of that, we use it in-house. So I am one of the people that gets to give feedback, but so are our customers. Yeah. A lot of the things we'll talk about today, or you'll see Paylocity coming out with in the coming months and years, is due to client feedback. On top of that, something that's a big differentiator for us is US-based customer service.
Yes.
A lot of our competitors outsource that. We don't need to, because we build it in-house and use it in-house to put a bow on it. And then also, we give you the keys to our house because we have turnkey integrations with over 400 different products, as well as API connectivity. So those are some of the big differentiators, but yeah, we've been around and happy to keep going with it.
Love it. That was pretty close to 1 Moss Minute. Love it. Let's talk about that for a second, because you just said so many important things. I love Paylocity, and our clients know that we love Paylocity. I prefer Paylocity, and there's great platforms out there. We've worked together for a long time. I think my favorite thing about Paylocity is the stateside customer service. You're talking about things that are important, they're expensive, there's a lot of money involved, and I love being supportive of the world that we live in, but being able to talk to someone that there's not sometimes there's things get lost in translation sometimes, and when you're dealing with a lot of money and you're dealing with a lot of the times very tight deadlines, to call customer service that's stateside and that really knows what they're doing has been, for me, the differentiator of choosing Paylocity over other platforms.
Sure.
Yeah, and then the AI is excellent in it. I think that, can you just talk us through for a second? There's small platforms, Gusto, ADP Run, and there's value to those, and there's some companies that need that. But can you just briefly talk about, if you have a company that maybe has 5 employees right now, but the goal is to get to 25, 50, maybe 100 employees, the importance of going with a platform that can support that growth versus getting in with a Gusto that's cheap and easy right now, but you have to implement a new process, move to something like Paylocity. What's the importance of going with what you need in the future versus what you have right now?
Yeah, I think it's easy to get into, and I don't want to mischaracterize our competitors, because full respect to them, I never trash talk them ever. But I will say that with any purchase, it's easy to get into what we all consider like a good enough for now model. Right? But do we have the bandwidth to re-implement in a year, and another year, and another year? I think a lot of people, and I'm talking to the finance suite especially, want to make an investment that's going to be a minimum, a 3 to 5 year investment before they have to reassess. So you do want a vendor that can support a mom and pop ice cream shop, for example, because that's one of my clients is a 2-employee ice cream shop, all the way up to our largest client, which is 52,000 employees.
Wow.
And groups that are all over the globe we give one platform to everybody. It's just Paylocity. We're not doing platform A, B, C, or D. I'm not going to list competitor platforms, of course, but a lot of our competitors have multiple platforms and they segment it out based on market, like small business, mid-market, which is what I typically deal with, or enterprise. But we just have Paylocity.
Yeah.
It's one platform that can scale, and it's, again, because we build it in-house and our customers give that feedback. So I've got a client that is, actually, it's a client of yours too. And when we brought them on board, they were 54 employees or so.
Okay.
Well, now they're 498. And they just got acquired by a company that has over 60,000 employees. So we're able to scale like that because our platform is built in-house. And I think investment-wise, something that triggers a lot of conversations or even check marks with us in the end is we bill by a monthly model. So if you think of Netflix or Hulu or something like that, it's a monthly billing model and you can stream unlimited shows, right? You can stream unlimited payrolls with us. We don't charge per payroll. We don't charge for off-cycle or day before processing. So there's a lot of organic value just from a spend side. And I'm sure we'll talk later about spend versus cost, but yeah, that would be my response to that. And I think people need to get into something they can get into for the long term, especially with the unpredictable economy right now.
Yeah, and the cost of implementing a new, whoever it is, Paylocity or any of the others, there's a cost to that, not only with switching the platforms, the implementation fee, but the cost of your people moving. There's just so much to that. So I think that thinking more than just right now is really important when you're choosing a payroll system, because it's kind of the lifeblood of your company at a certain point. It's your HRIS, it's how you pay your people, it's how they get the documents that they need. Yeah, it's so important. So thinking 3 to 5 years is what you're saying. Excellent. Okay, Mark, are you ready for question number 2? We're going to answer in 1 Moss minute. Okay, so AI is everywhere. Most business owners can't tell what the hype is versus what's actually mattering in the day-to-day. So what meaningful AI capabilities has Paylocity already rolled out? And I realize we're December 10th, 2025, so this is going to change while we're speaking about this. What problems is AI truly solving in the payroll world of Paylocity right now? And then could you share that perspective in 1 Moss minute?
Sure. So I'm glad you timestamped this because just yesterday I learned some new things that are on the roadmap. Now I can't speak to our roadmap because it's, we develop our own stuff, it's proprietary. So I have to let our comms and marketing decide when to roll that out. But I will say it's exciting.
Okay.
I think for me, being an end user as well as an employee, something that's been useful is the AI Assist tool. Now I'm going to make this very practical. So I had a question the other day about where I could see some information on my benefit plan. Okay. And of course I can go in and look at my benefit plan, pull down the PDF and read it forever, right? Or I could load it into ChatGPT. But one of the nice things is we have our own AI Assist tool that's in the app. So me as an employee, I could say, hey, does my Blue Cross plan cover IV therapy? It will scan that document that's in the Paylocity system and then give me the answer. So think about how this is practical for administrators, managers, and HR directors. Less level 1 questions. Yep. So it's a great tool. You can load in any company document and give it permission to scan it, and then gives the employee or even the administrator the answer they're looking for.
Yep. Yeah, so on the employee and the administrator, and I think that's huge. So the employee can answer their own questions, which everyone's moving so fast these days that those level 1 questions, they are important and they need to be answered. They just take time. There's only so much time in the day. Everyone has so much bandwidth. So for an employee to be able to answer their own question is great. Not meaning that you're not supporting less support for employees, but if you can self-service, that's the best. And then on the admin side, if they do want to talk to someone, because there are still so many people that want to call and talk to a real person, and we get and support that. We're in the business of humans. We love talking to people. They can call us and we can then load that in to the chat bot and it will tell us. Am I understanding that right?
Yeah, essentially. And I mean, the sky's the limit with loading in documents. You think about a PTO policy, company handbook. Those are low-hanging fruit items for HR, right? But even like hazmat protocol, all those sort of things, think of it as another layer or strata to LMS or learning management systems or training, however you want to categorize that. Just giving more and more layers of support to those employees who just need that quick answer. Yep. And or the administrator who doesn't have time to call in or doesn't want to do an email. Everybody's different.
Yeah.
Some people are visual learners, some are tactile, some are combinations, but we like to give a lot of, a broad scope of possibilities to get the answer you're looking for, because it's not just on policies, it's also on how to void a check, how to run an off-cycle payroll, where do I create a workflow, and it'll give you the link to that article. So that is one small, I don't want to say small tool, but it's a tool we have. We've invested in AI for about 5 years now, and there's some great things on the way too.
Yeah, Paylocity has been one of the front runners in leading that change, in my opinion. And I think that having the AI help with like the knowledge center for Paylocity for us as administrators, again, service is great. You can call service for any reason. You always get a helpful person. But to be able to go to like the knowledge center, what it's called, Peak, right? Peak, yes. You go to Peak and it gives really succinct step-by-step, but it sounds like now Peak is turning into AI that can walk us through what we need to know.
Sure, I think AI, well, essentially AI is scanning Peak to get you the answer quicker.
Got it.
So instead of a search or Boolean search, you're dealing more with like, here's content that's probably relevant, what you're looking for, and then do you want me to also do this as the next prompt back to the end user?
Love it.
Right, and there's, in benefits enrollment, in recruiting, in workflows, in scheduling, and in some other areas, AI is already in the platform.
Got it. Love it. Are you ready for question 3?
I am.
You're going to answer in 1 Moss minute. The payroll landscape is evolving quickly every day. You and I see it on a day-to-day, how fast it's moving. What can business owners expect from Paylocity's roadmap heading into 2026? Are there new tools coming, new capabilities, any new integrations? Walk us through that in 1 Moss minute.
Sure. Well, and I can't speak to exact items in the roadmap, but I can tell you there is a lot more AI stuff coming.
Okay.
You know, there's different types of AI, right? There's prompt-based, there's agentic AI, there's all kinds of different things. I don't even know all the terms, to be fair. But I think you're going to see more types of AI as an investment point.
Okay.
And I think you're going to see, and not just with us, with others too, but I like that because it drives the competition to do better. But in brief, I think you're going to see a lot of different types of AI. You're going to see AI in other areas that are helpful, that can help you catch and audit things that could potentially go wrong. Yeah. Bring you that data so you can make a decision. And really, that's what AI is about. It is not about replacing people. I know we see that a lot in the news. We've seen, oh, we had these layoffs because of AI. Really, AI is supposed to be letting people do a job they actually want to do. So if you go back to the HR director, they don't really want to answer level 1 questions all day. They want to focus on strategy, communication, collaboration, connection with the employees and between the employees to keep them long term. Yep. Not where's my PTO, or how many PTO sick days do I have left or something like that. Right. So I think you're going to see a lot of AI. I think you're going to see it, you know, build out solutions itself in the platform to bring to users. But also I think you're going to see some other cool things coming out that are not just AI specific to the point where it becomes a buzzword. We do have some things in the roadmap that I've learned about that are very exciting. Again, I can't share, but it's, you know, it's in the areas of performance and compensation and things like that. So it's really just more about functionality and intuitiveness, if that's a word. Because users spend the money on these things, right? And the implementation fees, like you mentioned, but if the end product is not intuitive, then they are spending all day learning how to use it. And then is that really the investment you wanted? Right. If you have to go all the time to another person just to learn how to use the software, is that really the investment you intended, I guess is the question. Right.
I think that when we talk about, I love what you said, the AI is not here to replace people, and I have to do a shameless plug for a second for Moss Consulting in that we bill by the hour, and we tell our clients or people that are wanting perhaps to work with us that if you're working with an HR firm that's charging a flat fee, a monthly flat fee, that flat fee should be going down because the hours that it's taking to do things that used to take hours are now taking minutes. So for instance, an HR investigation and you have to write reports on that, you can put transcripts into AI. It can delineate what needs to be put in a report or not. It gives you a first draft that usually takes a really long time. We bill only by the hour, so our clients' bills are going down as we use AI, and they should, right? We should be utilizing tools that are in place. And I think that as we look at it for Paylocity, we spend a lot of time in our HRIS systems, and most of our clients use Paylocity, thanks to working with you. And to be able to lessen the time that we're working on even level 1 questions, or we need to run an off cycle and it's a really weird off cycle. It happens all the time. Like all the time we get these one-off things that need to come up and we're like, to not call and sit on hold, not that you sit on hold with Paylocity for very long, but to have AI available to make our time less, our clients get billed less, they're not paying for extra runs for off cycles for you all. It feels very synergetic with Moss Consulting and Paylocity. Are you ready for question 4? Okay, 1 Moss minute. There's rising costs. Everyone's feeling the pressure of software costs. Tight budgets, especially right now, we're feeling it across industry. I mean, everyone's feeling it. Increasing compliance demands. So how does Paylocity help small businesses stay efficient and cost effective without sacrificing like the capability of the HRIS system? Can you break that down for us in 1 Moss minute?
Okay, and I think this really applies to small businesses, but it is also true of, or indicative of major markets, mid-market, enterprise level businesses. They're all having these same conversations about bottom line, right? And I think we have to delineate between cost and spend. Spend being exactly what you're looking at on a proposal, what you're paying for the service every month, what is leaving your bank account. And cost being, what is the cost of an inefficient system? What is the cost of a system that's not forward thinking like a Paylocity, that's not looking ahead and using feedback from customers to reiterate the product? So I think we have to look at spend and cost when we make these investments, whether you're, a mom and pop ice cream shop or a 50,000 employee group. One thing that's really helpful is Paylocity does not, again, bill per payroll. And we see this all the time, especially with restaurants who have line staff, serving staff, cooks that are all on different payroll frequencies. So what we see a lot is groups that come over to us and go, wait, what do you mean you don't charge per frequency? You can run as many frequencies as you want, as many payrolls as you want. It's still a predictable for finance monthly cost.
Love it. So quick follow-up. What's your honest advice to a small business owner who's comparing platforms, thinking about cost versus long-term value?
Yeah, I think when you think about cost, it's initially like, again, or what I'm going to call spend is the word I'll use. Like I am spending, I'm going to throw out a number, $2,000 a month for my, my company, whatever size it is. And maybe they've got a big solution suite because we're a la carte, right? Maybe they just have basic onboarding, payroll, and benefits, or they want to integrate with Employee Navigator through their broker. Maybe later on they want to add performance and LMS. It's a scalable thing. It's a la carte. You can add those things later when you need them. We don't force you into a box or an off-the-shelf solution. And I think it's become, what I've seen rather, is people are treating SaaS and HCM companies as a commodity. Well, if it was a commodity, there would only be like 3 of us, right? They're all so different and they all fit different businesses. Great. But I think the point I'm trying to loop together here is that you have 2 types of growth. You have headcount growth where, we have 12 employees today. We're a technology firm and we're going to grow to 50. And those are goals and those are great, right? Everybody should have those. Just like the client we mentioned earlier, they grew from 50 or so to nearly 500. But I think the other type of growth is your customer base. Right. And essentially what that comes out to is your revenue stream. So how does that come into play with an HCM platform? Well, can your HCM platform not just support headcount growth, but can it also support growth for revenue streams? And what I specifically mean is some of our newer solutions in like guided AP, procurement, corporate cards we're doing now, asset management, where we're assigning out the laptops and the cell phones and the hardware and handling that all in one solution. Can it support not just headcount, but also revenue and your needs to grow the revenue? And maybe it's a reporting thing. We have a very, very robust reporting module, I would say, and data analytics. And so as we continue to improve that, even a group that stays at 12 heads for the next 6 years may have more intense reporting needs. Maybe they're getting grants. Maybe they need reporting that can easily facilitate that, or certified payroll for government work. All those sort of things are also growth. And I think that even with all the most visionary people we sit down with, the reporting aspect as a growth item is not always considered, although a lot of times it is, which is why I'm even saying this.
Right. Excellent. Question number 5. Okay, workforces are changing. Multi-state employees, hybrid teams, demand for faster payouts, and more transparency is really required for employees these days, which is fair. What does the future of payroll look like? What should business owners be preparing for now? And answer in 1 Moss minute.
Well, this is an interesting question because there's a lot you could really talk about here. I mean, we could probably talk for an hour or 2 hours about that. I don't think anybody wants to hear my voice that long, but I will say that I think the one thing that's going to be consistent, and maybe it came as a result of the pandemic, is flexibility.
Yep.
It's probably the key thing that, like it or not as an employer or love it or not as an employee, that's around people who want flexibility. It's what most people want now. There's people who love to be in the office. There's people who love to work from home. There's people who like the hybrid model. Those can all be true statements, but we have to, as employers, I think at least personally, not Paylocity, but I think personally that we have to be flexible and build a platform that allows for that flexibility. So, you know, what we see a lot is employees that are at home or they work from a remote office and the employer wants to geofence it to make sure they're there instead of Whataburger or HEB, right? Now that's a technical thing. But I think in terms of flexibility, that's the on-demand pay that our system offers, where if I have worked the full pay period but I don't get paid till a week later, I'm allowed to take those funds out now, same day direct deposit, for a very small fee. I believe it's like $1.25 for the employee.
Okay.
And then all that's reconciled on payroll day. So it's nothing on the administrator's hands, nothing on HR or finance to deal with. It's just reconciled after Paylocity has paid out the employee. So that's an example of great flexibility in an HCM platform. You should be looking for things like that. In terms of the future of payroll, I think flexibility applies there. And I don't really have a technical answer. We don't know what the future holds, but we see, again, that AI is helping us along that path.
Yeah.
With flexibility. And I think that you've just got to put yourself invest with a partner, whatever technology stack you have, not just HCM platforms, that allow you to support flexibility.
Agreed. What do you think the biggest risk for companies that don't modernize their payroll are facing?
Retention problems,
Okay.
honestly. And I don't mean that to be a fear-mongering thing, because I don't like to talk that way, but I think what we see, well, I would know what we see, is employees moving from company to company to find the one that does offer those things. So it's not always just about compensation and what lands in your Chase or, you know, Wells Fargo bank account at the end of the day. It is about what is not just in direct deposit.
Right.
Those outside perks, the technology that allows you to take advantage of those perks. We have some of our integration partners now that are doing things, I'm thinking of one specifically, where you can exchange your PTO. If you're like me that never takes a holiday, I've got 160 hours of PTO. If I had this other integration partner, I could exchange that for things.
Oh, that's cool.
Like cash out, put it in my child's 529 account, put it towards travel vouchers. And finance loves that because, well, it's not a liability in the books.
Right.
So it's not just about what Paylocity is doing in-house, it's about who we're partnering with as well that makes us a good partner for the retention, for the flexibility, because I think that ties in really well there with that partner, and just items like that. And we're not stopping. Like, we're finding those partners that are allowing what we see in the market to be better served.
I love that. And I think you're right that retention's everything. We were just having a conversation with a group that you introduced us to yesterday, an insurance group, that they're talking about it's not what just hits the bank account, right? And we need to communicate these. As HR professionals, we need to communicate to the employees what is being offered to them. If they don't know that they can switch their PTO out for cash out PTO at the end of the year, Ashley on our team and I were talking about it the other day. We haven't seen this in years, maybe even 10 years, that you can choose to cash your PTO out at the end of the year. The companies don't want the liability, but to have a partner who can do that, and they can do it without the company needing to be involved, they don't need approval. It's part of a platform that you all have put together. That kind of forward thinking is what makes me so excited about Paylocity, because it's all about the employee experience, and retention is key, especially we're in a bit of a crunch right now I think just as an economy and as a workforce, that people are really wanting to hold tight, and it's items like that keep your retention strong. And it's so thoughtful for the employee, which is everything. That's why we're all in the business that we're in, is to support people and to give them a good working environment. And I'm just so proud to partner with you guys, because we work, and we work with other platforms. We have to meet our clients where they are. if they're open to moving Paylocity. We've done a lot of deals together. We do that. But I can firmly say, as a professional working with all the platforms out there, we touch them all. No one is as invested in the employee experience as Paylocity that I've seen, and in my opinion. So thank you, Paylocity. Thank you, Mark. It's amazing. And thank you for joining us on this edition of the Moss HR Minute. Your insight into payroll, technology, AI, and the future of compliance is exactly what business owners need to hear. If you need to connect with Mark, he works with companies looking to modernize payroll, streamline operations, adopt intelligent workforce solutions. You can reach Mark at, what's the best way to reach you?
I would say either my email or my cell phone number. So my email is mmartin2@paylocity.com, or my cell phone will be 346-459-0767, and I do text.
Oh, you do. You're very good at the community. Mark is, I think it's another thing to work with someone like Mark, just throwing this in there, is that we work with a lot of payroll reps and sales guys. You are the most forward-thinking, responsive. You really care about your clients, and you're really, really intentional about providing solutions for them, and saying, hey, maybe you haven't thought about this. And you're also good at saying, like, this may not be the best solution for you. And I think that for someone like me, it's built such a great amount of trust. And I know you're going to tell me the truth. I know you're going to think about my clients and the way that I think about them. And so I really appreciate that. So if anyone has questions about Paylocity, you can reach us to get to Mark, or reach Mark directly. And if you're a business owner needing on-site HR, recruiting, payroll support, or help with employee issues, visit mossconsulting.com or book time with me by using the link below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next episode. Dang, Mark, you freaking killed it.
It's fast, it's fun, it's the